Friday night. Time for high school football. KMIR News. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by General Air Conditioning.
Already building among football coaches from the Banning Pass to the Salton Sea. Welcome to Friday Night Lights, your complete wrap of all the high school football games here in the Coachella Valley. Week 2, which is technically week 1, but our week 2 is in the books. And the Desert's Big 3 all had their home openers this week. Palm Desert, La Quinta, and CIF champs Palm Springs, which is where our Julie Bueller is tonight. And she kicks off our Friday Night Lights team coverage. Julie.
Hi, Gino. That's right. There were home openers across the Coachella Valley, but perhaps none as hotly anticipated than right here at Palm Springs as the defending CIF champions take their home field for the first time of the season. It was a massive defensive effort. In fact, the Indians pitched a shutout in the second half. The game was tied at 14. Redlands did take the lead with a safety, which doesn't count against the defensive effort. But the next drive, it was Will Vera and the offense leading the go-ahead scoring drive, putting the Indians up 22-16. And then drama in the last 2 minutes. Redlands gets the ball back, but it was again that Indians defense. Taylor Hawkins with an interception. Final score 22-16. The Indians hold on for a very exciting victory. Let's go across the Ramon Road as Rancho Mirage hosted Cathedral City, a territorial battle between two schools. Both sides of the stands were packed, but the Rattlers, their offense came packed today. They moved to 2-0 with their home win tonight, pouring on just too much for the Lions. The third quarter was the deciding frame. The Rattlers turned a 10-0 halftime lead into a final score 45-8. And then just down the 10 freeway, Xavier Prep was hosting St. Monica. Tough night for offense at this game. Both teams struggled. At one point in the half, the score was 5-3. That's not a baseball score. That was just football score. But Xavier ends up with 0-2 now on the season after another home loss. The final score, St. Monica 12, Xavier Prep 10. And in just a few minutes, we're going to hear from the coaching staff at Palm Springs High School with an exciting victory over Redlands. Back to you, Gino.
All right, thank you, Julie. Continue our coverage of the DVL and Deanza League games. Let's go to sports reporter Bridget Case in the newsroom. Bridget.
Thanks, Gino. We had some exciting matchups this week with La Quinta, Shadow Hills, and Palm Desert all playing in town. Last year's DVL champs faced off against Villa Park High School tonight. The Blackhawks home opener brought in quite a lot of support for the home team, but it wasn't enough to get the win. La Quinta was down 21-3 at the half, and they weren't quite able to get the Spartans. Still behind 35-3 heading into the fourth quarter, but the Blackhawks responded with a final touchdown late in the game. Villa Park leaves the Valley with a 35-10 victory over the Blackhawks, and La Quinta will play Heritage High School away next week. In 2014, Shadow Hills shut down Palm Desert with a 34-14 victory, but this season's game was no repeat. And due to a referee shortage, the game was moved to Thursday night, but that was no obstacle for the Aztecs at home. Palm Desert got things started in the first quarter. Quarterback Jake Vincent throws a 10-yard pass to running back Bo Berryhill, and Berryhill gets the two-point conversion to take an 8-0 lead. The Aztecs kept that swift pace going, increasing their lead over the Knights to 45-0 by the fourth quarter, and Shadow Hills wouldn't go down without a fight. They answered back with a touchdown in just under a minute left of play. And final score on this one, Palm Desert blows out Shadow Hills with a 45-7 win. And that's a look at your local scoreboard. Back to you, Gino.
Thank you, Bridget. Coming up next on Friday Night Lights, Desert Mirage off to a great start. We've got game film coming up next, plus exclusive footage tonight of a local coach. Well, frankly, having a bit of a meltdown in the second game of the year. It's going to be a long season. Stay with us for more Friday Night Lights.
It's tougher than ever to be a Foster Farms chicken.
The Foster Farms Simply Raised chicken is 100% natural with no antibiotics.
Do I look natural, Herb-Man? Can I call you Herb-Man? I'm trying to look natural. Say something. Why aren't you guys saying anything?
Simply Raised chicken with no antibiotics from Foster Farms.
America's Tire is celebrating this Friday and Saturday with incredible pre-Labor Day deals. Get a Visa prepaid card for up to $100 when you buy select sets of tires. Thinking about wheels? Get a $100 Visa prepaid card when you buy any set of wheels. Use your America's Tire credit card and save even more. Get up to $320 when you buy select tire and wheel packages with America's Tire credit. Your low price journey starts here. Thank you, America's Tire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show in town, Augustine Casino's $125,000 Big Top Bonanza. Each weekend, win your share of over $8,500 in cash and free play. Plus, be one of 25 $100 cash winners chosen every 10 minutes every Saturday night. That's right, step right up for the big time bucks, the $125,000 Big Top Bonanza. Only at Augustine Casino, where locals win.
So everyone is saying, hey, you've got to get Fios. But why? Well, Fios is a 100% fiber optic network to the home, so you can get access to the fastest internet and in-home Wi-Fi available. And Fios gives you big capacity too, so everyone in the house can get online. But the main reason to get Fios, we're rated #1 in customer satisfaction. Ultimately, that's why. Get 50 meg Fios internet, TV, and phone starting at $69.99 a month for the first year. Plus, get $300 back. Hurry, offer ends September 19th. Get out of the past. Get Fios.
Any of these three won't satisfy like our one. The second-to-none foot-long Subway steak and cheese. Sizzling steak, topped with melty cheese, and always on freshly baked bread. The heartiest appetites are no match for the Subway steak and cheese.
Hey, Foster Farms, looks like you left these two West Coast birds behind.
Foster Farms chicken's California grown. You guys aren't from here.
Well, do we get points for trying?
Fresh and natural chicken, California grown with no added hormones. From Foster Farms, simply better.
Tonight, Fallon's New with Steve Harvey.
Greatest day of my life.
And Allison Brie.
It was so fun.
Playing Tonight Show Family Feud.
Jimmy. Boo-boo kitty.
Plus thank you notes. New Tonight Show, then late night, NBC Tonight.
KMIR News Friday Night Lights continues now. Let's go back to reporter Bridget Case, who has more high school football highlights and scores. Bridget.
All right, some of our local teams in the Valley this year had some intense noggling action tonight, both last night and tonight. Indio took on tough competition tonight as they visited 29 Palms High School. 29 Palms took it to them early and never really let up. They finish on top, winning 40-7. And the Rajas will return home next week to face another high desert opponent. After a 5-5 record in 2014, Desert Mirage has had an impressive start to their 2015 season. Last night, they faced Calexico to improve to a 2-0 record for the second year in a row. They took a 35-0 lead into the locker room and then dominated again as they took the field for the second half. Leading 42-8 in the fourth quarter, Calexico then responded with a touchdown, but it wasn't enough to defeat the Rams. And the Rams get the big win, 42-14, and it's good to see Desert Mirage off to the same hot start as they were last year. That's a look at your local scores for the second week of play. Gino, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Let's head back out now to Julie Bueller live at Palm Springs High School with more from there. Julie.
That's right, Gino. Now, we know that a couple games were shifted to Thursday night from Friday night. In fact, Desert Mirage and Palm Desert both hosted those games, and that was a surprise scheduled change. But the game between Desert Hot Springs and Coachella Valley was always going to be a Thursday night matchup because there's a shortage of referees in the Coachella Valley. But let's take it to Desert Hot Springs to see how the Arabs and Golden Eagles fared, because it was an exciting game with both teams enjoying big plays and massive shifts in momentum all night long. The Golden Eagles led most of the night until the Arabs took a 15-14 lead in the fourth quarter. Then DHS quarterback Andrew Moreno, who had a huge game, led the go-ahead drive with less than 6 minutes remaining. These two teams will be league rivals next season, and I'm sure the Arabs will remember this one as DHS got the final 22-15. All right, now, Gino, as you mentioned, it's no secret that football coaches are not big fans of officials. In fact, they enjoy a relationship similar to oil and water, or perhaps cats and dogs. But last night on the sidelines of the Coachella Valley DHS game, there was a little bit of a dust-up, and there was a tough time maintaining patience because perhaps this referee shortage means that the best refs aren't always officiating these games. And the head coach at Coachella Valley Valley High School, Brett Davis, found himself in a little bit of a controversy with the officials. 200 yards in penalties had been assessed. Now, the problem with that is it was a Thursday night game. It was a lengthening of football game on a school night. Obviously, Mr. Davis wasn't appreciating some of those calls. Now, he did mention he didn't have a problem with the officiating, wanted to make that very clear, but I have been hearing a lot of questions from parents and coaches about the officiating. A program that has no questions surrounding it. How about the Palm Springs High School Indians and their prowess? But after tonight's game, I caught up with head coach Dan Murphy and defensive coordinator Tyrus Brown about their big win. How special was it, your home opener, get a big 22-16 victory?
It was huge. You know, we knew they were a real good football team. I just told the kids all week to weather the storms, and there was quite a few storms today, and we overcame some adversity and came away with the win.
This defense is a blast to watch. How much fun is it for you on the sidelines?
It's great. You know, Coach Brown does a great job with the defense, and kids are flying all over the place, and you know, the closer it gets and the tighter it gets, they just rise to the occasion. That's been the cornerstone of our program for years, and every year we just find new guys to step up and play the role.
It's pretty special, though, because you give up the safety, they take the lead, and then here comes Olvera and the offense to retake the lead. The whole team seems to be, I mean, it's only the second game of the season, but they're complementing one another quite well, both sides of the ball.
And when we finished over here, I talked to them. They said we came together as a family tonight, and that's what you want to hear as a coach. That, you know, everyone plays hard for one another, and you know that's all you can ask for. And if they do that, we're in pretty good shape.
You know, we've got guys who can make plays all over the field, and I was talking on the headset to our guy up top, Tom Christopher, and I said, we're about due for a turnover. And he said, yeah, that would be great right now. And I said, well, let's see it happen. And sure enough, it happened. It was crazy, you know, and that's just almost one of the nails in the coffin. You know, our offense sputtered a little. We had to give it back, so still a little nerves. But again, we came through on 4th down and sealed the deal. So that's what we like to think. Defense wins championship.
All right, Gino, that'll do it for us here at Palm Springs High School. Another incredible week of high school football. And don't forget, tomorrow in the evening news, I'll give a full recap of all the games. In Palm Springs, I'm Julie Bueller, KMIR News.
All right, Julie, thank you for that. Nice job. That's going to do it for this week's version of Friday Night Lights. Technically week 1 of the schedule, but week 2 of our coverage. Coming up next, the KMIR News at 11. One last look at your holiday forecast.